Okay, working on the study guide, starting with 7.3, we're going to start with number 4. The equation says this. The first equation is negative 3x minus 4y equals negative 23. The second equation is negative 3x plus y equals positive 2. So what we're looking for is substitution or elimination. I see elimination could be possible because the x's share the same coefficient. Since they're not opposite coefficients, we've got to change the expression or the sign on all of the equations or all the terms in one of the equations. We're going to use equation number 2. So that negative 3x is going to become positive, that positive y is going to become negative, and that positive 2 is going to become negative. So now, since we have opposite coefficients, we can now add these two terms, these two equations to eliminate the x's. So negative 3x plus 3x is 0, negative 4y minus y is negative 5y, and negative 23 minus 2 is negative 25. So now we're going to divide each side by negative 5, and y becomes 5. So that's the first part of the equation. Now we have to solve for x. So let's just rewrite equation number 1 and let's solve. It is negative 3x minus 4, and instead of the y, since we've already solved, I'm going to plug in the 5 value. Minus 4 times 5 equals negative 23. So I'm going to get negative 3x minus 20 equals negative 23. We're going to add 20 to each side to get the variable by itself. So we're going to get negative 3x equals negative 3. Okay, divide each side by negative 3. So you can see x is going to be equal to 1, because negative 3 over negative 3 is 1. So there's our two variables, and there are our two answers. So the solution sets x comma y, so it'll be 1 comma 5. And that is our solution for number 4. Okay, moving on. Number 5. This again is in your worksheet. It's page 416 on the study guide handout I gave you. C minus 3d equals 11, and 2c minus 3d equals 16. Again, I see the d's have the same coefficients. They're not opposite coefficients, they're the same. So we are going to have to change the signs, and we will do this again. This time, I will use the top equation. Make that a negative c, make that a positive 3d, and make that negative 11. So now let's add these together. So negative c plus 2c is positive c. Positive 3d minus 3d is 0. And negative 11 plus 16 is 5. So we get c equals 5. Okay, now we're going to plug this back in. And I'm going to use the second equation. So 2c minus 3d equals 16. Plug in our c value, which we solved for, right down here. C equals to 5. So we'll be 2 times c minus 3d equals 16. So 2 times 5 is 10. Minus 3d is 16. Subtract 10 to each side. We're going to get negative 3d equals positive 6. Divide each side by negative 3. So we get d is equal to negative 2. Alright, so c is 5 and d is negative 2. So we're going to write the solution set alphabetically, c comma d, so it'll be 5 comma negative 2. Number 6, same page. X minus 2y equals 6. That's equation 1. Equation 2 is x plus y equals 3. We notice the coefficients on the x's are the same, so we just got to change the signs on one of the equations. We'll use the bottom one. So we'll minus x, minus y, and minus 3. So now, since we have opposite coefficients, we can eliminate the x. So x minus x is 0. Negative 2y plus negative y is negative 3y. And 6 minus 3 is positive 3. So divide each side by negative 3 to get y by itself. And we're going to find y equals 3 over negative 3, so y equals negative 1. All right, we're going to reuse equation 1, x minus 2y, but instead of putting the y value in, I'm going to put negative 1. And I'm getting that because I'm replacing the y value. Equals 6. So x, negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. Negative 2 times negative 1 is negative times a negative is a positive. Equals 6. So we're going to subtract 2 to each side. So x is equal to 4. And again, you can always check your solution set. You can always check your solution set. Okay? So x comma y, so our solution set's 4, negative 1. And that, my friends, is the solution. Okay, going to a word problem. Now you're going to have to listen to me and look at your homework. You're going to have to listen. Okay? The sum of two numbers is 70. So the sum of two numbers, so number A and number B is 70. We know that. It told us. One of the numbers, so it doesn't matter which one we pick, A, one of the numbers is, so we put equals, is 10 more than twice the other number. So A is 10 more, so that's plus 10, than twice the other number. So we have two equations. We really don't have to sit there and do substitution or elimination on this one. We can just substitute. There's an A in there, and we have an A equals 10 plus 2B. So we will just substitute. All right. Instead of writing A on that first equation, again, I'll label the equations. I'm going to put 10 plus 2B, because that's what A is, plus B equals 70. Sum like terms, so I get 10 plus 3B equals 70. So subtract 10, got to get the variable by itself. So we're going to get 3B equals 60. 70 minus 10 is 60. Divide each side by 3. So we're going to get B is equal to 20. Okay, rewrite equation 1. A plus B equals 70. Okay. A plus our B value is 20 equals 70. Subtract 20 on each side. So A is equal to 50. So our solution set alphabetically is 50, 20. Okay, and that was number 13. Number 14, still page 416. Two angles are supplementary. Okay, supplementary means they have a sum of 180. That's supplementary. You'll learn that in geometry next year with me. The measure of one angle is 10 more than 3 times the other angle. So we got angle A plus angle B equals 180. All right. The measure of one angle, so we'll say angle A, is 10 degrees more, 10 plus, 3 times the other one. So again, easy, simple substitution. All we're going to do here is we're going to replace 10 plus 3b for that A. And we know they summed at 180, so there's equation 1, equation 2. So let's rewrite equation 1, but instead of using A, we're going to say 10 plus 3b, that's our A value, plus b equals 180. Okay, we'll sum like terms, so we get 10 plus 3b plus 1b is 4b equals 180. Subtract 10 on each side. We're going to get 4b is equal to 170. Divide each side by 4. B is going to be equal to 42.5. Okay, so we solve for B. It's 42.5. All right. So how do we solve for A? Well, we know A plus B equals 180. A must equal 180 minus B. So A equals 180 minus 42.5. So A must equal 137.5. And again, you can check your work, but the two angles are 137.5 and 42.5, and they sum to be 180. All right, going on to the next section, 7.4. Okay, 7.4, number 1, we're going to use elimination again. Okay, equation 1 is x plus y equals -9. Equation 2 is 5x minus 2y equal to 32. Okay, by inspection, we can see if I multiply everything in equation 1 by 2, I can get opposite y coefficients. So let's do this one. So let's multiply this one by 2 and rewrite. So 2 times x is 2x, 2 times y is 2y, 2 times -9 is -18. We're still going to rewrite equation 2 just like it is underneath it. So we're going to get 5x minus 2y equals 32. So that's still equation 2. And this one's just equation 1 times 2. So now we got opposite coefficients, so we can eliminate the y. So now we can just add these. So I'm going to get 7x, 2y minus 2y 0 equals 18, -18 plus 32. -18 plus 32 is a 14. So 7x equals 14. So x is equal to 2. We can go back in the original equation. We'll just plug it in for number 1. Since we got x equals to 2, we can just plug that in. So we can rewrite equation number 1. Instead of x, we'll put 2 plus y equals -9. Subtract 2 to each side. Y equals -11. So our solution set is x equals 2 and y equals -11, so we can rewrite it 2, -11. And that's your solution set for the first one. Going to number 2, our first equation is 3x plus 2y is equal to -9. Our second equation is x minus y equals -13. By inspection, we can say if we multiply the second equation by 2, we're going to get opposite coefficients at the y value. So let's multiply this one by 2. Let's rewrite it as 2x minus 2y equals -26. Okay, moving over the first equation, just to match it up, 3x plus 2y equals -9. So you can tell right now we can just add these two equations up nicely. So 3x plus 2x is 5x. The y's cancel. So -9 plus -26 is -35. Divide each side by 5, and we're going to get x is equal to -7. Okay, so we've solved for x. Now all we have to do is find a simple equation to plug that into. I'm going to use equation number 2, so I'll rewrite that. But instead of x, I'll put a -7 minus y equals -13. Okay, let's add 7 to each side. So we're going to get -y equals -6. Divide each side by -1, or just flip the signs. Y equals 6. So our solution set for this one is x -7, y is 6. So -7 comma 6 is our solution set. And you can plug it in if you need to. Again, we know it's right, so we're going to move on. Okay, next question. Number 3. The questions are this. Equation 1 is 2x plus 5y equals 3. The second equation is -x plus 3y equals -7. Okay, by inspection, you can tell if we multiply equation 2 by a positive 2, we're going to get negative coefficients. We're going to have a positive 2x in equation 1 and a negative 2x in equation 2. So let's rewrite equation 1. Didn't mean to use purple there, but 2x plus 5y equals 3. So we're going to multiply equation 2 by 2. So negative 2x times 2 would be negative x times 2 is negative 2x. Plus, well, 3y times 2 is 6y. And negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. So again, since we have opposite coefficients, we can just add the two equations. The x's cancel. 5y plus 6y is 11y. And 3 minus 14y is a negative 11. So divide each side by 11. So y is going to equal negative 1. Plug that in for an equation. Does not matter which one you use. I'm going to go ahead and use number 2. So it's negative x plus 3 times y, which is negative 1, equals negative 7. So negative x minus 3 equals negative 7. Add 3 to each side. Negative x equals negative 4. Multiply side by negative 1, x equals 4. So our solution set is 4, negative 1. Going on to the next problem. Number 4. 2x, the first equation, 2x plus y equals 3. The second equation is negative 4x minus 4y equals negative 8. Okay, there's a couple things we can do. We could multiply the top equation by 2, or we could actually divide the bottom equation by 2. So let's divide the bottom equation by 2 because we haven't done that. So let's rewrite equation 1. 2x plus y equals 3. Now usually you won't be able to do this, but let's just divide or multiply all of this by half. It might be an easier way to think about it. So negative 4x times a half would be negative 2x. Alright, negative 4y would be negative 2y. And negative 8 would be negative 4. So now we have opposite coefficients at the x value. So what can we do to these equations? That's right, we can just add them. Negative 2x minus 2x is 0. Y minus 2y is negative y. And 3 minus 4 is negative 1. So multiply each one by negative 1, or just flip your signs. And y equals 1. So now we can just go plug that into an equation. Okay, so we can see, we're going to rewrite equation number 1. So it's 2x plus y, which is 1, equals 3. Subtract 1 each side, sorry. So you're going to get 2x equals 2. Divide each side by 2. You're going to get x is equal to 1. So x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 1. So your solution set's 1, 1. And x is 1, y is 1, solution set is 1, 1. Okay, next problem. Number 13. It's a word problem, so you're going to have to listen to it. I'm going to read it one time before we do anything. 2 times a number plus 3 times another number is equal to 13. The sum of the two numbers is 7. What are the numbers? Okay, so 2 times a number, plus 3 times another number is equal to 13. The sum of the two numbers, so n plus a, is equal to 7. Okay, so we could use substitution here. We could use elimination. So let's use elimination since that's what we've been working on. Okay, we notice now this first equation is set up nicely. And the second equation, if we multiply it by negative 2, we can have opposite coefficients. So negative 2 times n would be negative 2n. Negative 2 times a would be negative 2a. And negative 2 times 7 would be negative 14. So we have opposite coefficients, so we can add and eliminate the n. So 3a minus 2a equals a. 13 minus 14 equals negative 1. So we know a is negative 1. So if a equals negative 1, we just plug in. So n plus a equals 7. So n plus negative 1 equals 7. Add 1 to each side. So n must equal 8. So our two numbers are negative 1 and 8. Okay, next problem. Again, it's a word problem, so you're going to have to listen. 4 times a number minus twice another number is negative 16. The sum of the numbers is negative 1. So 4 times a number minus twice another number equals negative 16. The sum of the two numbers, n plus a, equals negative 1. Again, we could substitute here, or we could just eliminate. I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by 2. We're going to rewrite this. So I got 4n minus 2a equals negative 16 on top. The bottom one, multiply everything by 2, so it's going to be 2n plus 2a equals negative 2. So we're going to sum these up. Since we have opposite coefficients, 4n plus 2n is 6n equals, the a's cancel, negative 16 minus 2 is negative 18. So n is equal to negative 3. Plug that back into the second equation. So n plus a equals negative 1. So negative 3 plus a equals negative 1. Add 3 to each side. So a is equal to 2. So our solution set is 2 comma negative 3 for number 14. Number 15 says use the best method. So equation number 1 is 2x plus 3y equals 10. And equation 2 is 5x plus 2y equals negative 8. Okay? Well, there's nothing really you can factor out too easily. There's nothing that you can just multiply or divide on one or the other. But I can multiply the top equation by 2. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the y coefficients to be opposites. And we can multiply the bottom equation by negative 3. Okay? So let's rewrite those equations. And here's what we get. Okay, so multiplying the first one by 2, it's going to be 4x plus 6y equals 20. The second equation, multiplying this one all by negative 3, so that'd be negative 15x minus 6y equals 24. So we can add these together. The y's are going to cancel. So 4x minus 15x is negative 11x. And 20 plus 24 is 44. So divide each side by negative 11. So we're going to get x is equal to negative 4. Okay, there's no simple equation to really put this in. So we'll just use the first one. So it says 2x plus 3y is equal to 10. 2 times negative 4 plus 3y equals 10. So negative 8 plus 3y equals 10. Add 8 to each side. So we're going to get 3y equal to 18. Divide each side by 3, and you're going to get y is equal to 6. So your solution set for this one is negative 4, comma 6. Again, your x value is negative 4, your y value is 6, and your solution set's negative 4, comma 6. Okay, next question. Number 16. Use best practice. So the equation number 1 is 8x minus 7y equals 18. Equation 2 is 3x plus 7y equals 26. Well, by inspection, you can see we got opposite coefficients at the y, so we can just add these equations as is. So 8x plus 3x is 11x. The y's are going to cancel. 18 plus 26 is going to be 44. Divide each side by 11. You're going to get x is equal to 4. Now you can plug in. Again, it does not matter which equation you use. I'm going to use equation 2 because it's a positive equation. So 3x plus 7y is equal to 26. I'm going to plug it in. So 3 times 4 plus 7y equals 26. So that's 12 plus 7y equals 26 minus 12 on each side. Alright, so you're going to get 7y is equal to 14. Divide each side by 7. You're going to get y is equal to 2. So you're going to have a solution set of x equal to 4 and y equal to 2. So your solution set is 4, comma 2. Going to chapter 7.5, number 2. You got two equations. Y is greater than negative 2x plus 2, and you have a y is less than or equal to x plus 1. So let's look at the first equation. Y is greater than negative 2x plus 2. So the y-intercept, okay, remember y equals mx plus b. So your b value is 2. So let's look at it really quick. So the y-intercept's 2, and the slope is negative 2. So that means down and to the right, down and to the right, down and to the right. Okay, so that means we're going to have a dotted line because it's not an equals to sign, it's a greater than or equal to. So we're going to have a dotted line right there. So let's draw our graph. You see I plotted some points. And now you just go through and draw your dotted lines. You can make the sounds if you want. Alright, it's close enough for government work. So we'll go on to the next one. And it's greater than. So let's highlight that. Okay? So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and highlight it all in yellow. Now, I was suggesting your homework, you don't do it this way. Highlight it all. The second equation, y is less than or equal to, so it's going to be a solid line, of x plus 1. So the slope-intercept, we'll do this one in blue, or purple, is 1. The slope is 1. So the y-intercept is 1, and the slope is 1, and it's a solid line. So we can plot this one as well. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. And we will draw a solid line. Okay? And it says less than. So we're going to go less than. And I'm going to go ahead and highlight all of it. Now you can see yellow and blue make green, so wherever it turns green, that's the solution set for this thing. That's the solution set over there. Okay? Going to the next question. Okay, next question. Okay, our first equation in number 3 is y is less than x plus 1. That's a nice equation. It's already set up for us. It's already in slope-intercept. The second one says 3x plus 4y is greater than or equal to 12. Well, I'm going to get that in slope-intercept form. So we're going to subtract 3x on each side. So we're going to get 4y is greater than or equal to negative 3x plus 12. Now we're going to divide each side by 4 to get y by itself. So y is greater than or equal to negative 3 over 4x plus 3. So there's our two equations. All we have to do is now graph the inequalities and find out where they overlap. So let's insert our graph. Okay, there it is. So the first one, let's draw in red. The y-intercept is 1, as we can tell, from x plus 1. And then the slope is a rise over run of 1. So it's a perfect diagonal on a 1 by 1 graph. Alright, and there we go. And its y is less than. So let's highlight below. Oop. Gotta love undo. There you go. The second one is y is greater than 3, so the y-intercept is 3, 1, 2, 3. The slope is negative rise over run, so negative 3 over 4. So the rise is negative 3, so drop 3. 1, 2, 3, run is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so there's our line. It's a solid line because there's an equals into it. So, something like that. Again, a ruler would work better. And we're going to highlight above that. But we're going to stop on the other line. So right here, there is your section. This blue section right here that we're highlighting. Or this green section. There you go. That's the area that creates that inequality for us. Okay?